Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we want to take a look at once again another legendary, but this time we're gonna take a look at me with my account, which I pushed just yesterday into Legend League. And we're gonna do a Electrodragon Loon Day, which means this is gonna be a lot of fun because, Electrodragons and Loons isn't the army strategy which I normally use. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a couple of different bases, rushed bases, a couple of fairly well upgraded bases, so everything should be in there. And guys, please let me know what you think about this format. So like always, those 8 attacks. Today we'll have once again 8 attacks for you guys to show all of you like my entire Legend League day. So let me guys know how you guys like this idea and whether I should bring this more often. But for now, let's get into the first attack. This base isn't too well upgraded, but still it's a bit annoying with the ring base, but let's see how we can deal with it. And I will try to explain you guys, like I said, I'm really new to Electrodragons, and I will try to explain you guys what I learned over every single attack, because I guess I got better with Electrodragons over this episode, and I will try to give you guys as much insight as possible. So for now, what we're trying to do, we have 2 heroes, like the king and the queen, on the left side trying to funnel everything in. During that, we have the Electrodragons coming into the middle with a huge push. We can kind of early use most of the spells, but the first thing which came to mind after seeing this attack was that I used my warden ability way too late. The reason, or like when I take a look at other players using Electrodragons, and even though Stephanie and Dr. Mutaba might be a little bit fishy on their win trading thing, they're still using Electrodragons and they're doing pretty well with that. Even without their win trading, they would be in the top 100 at least. So with this being said, we have to take a look, or let's try to figure out what they did different, or when I saw them attack the last time, what they tried to do. And when I see most of the time their attacks, they're using the warden ability really early on, just to make sure that they're catching as many Electrodragons and Loons as possible, so they can soak up as many traps and damage as possible. Because when you're waiting for too long to get like the perfect warden ability in the core, this is most likely never gonna happen. So this is why it's better to use the warden ability more early, which means it's less, maybe it's a little bit less damage on your dragons, but this means you will catch all of your Electrodragons and all of your Loons, and this is the important thing. And in addition to that, your warden ability will last 8 seconds, which is crazy. So do not use it too late. On this one, this was the first thing which I want to do better. So I'm trying to use the warden ability way earlier, used it before even the Townhall was going down. In the end, the 8 seconds was easily enough to take the Townhall down during the warden ability, and because of this base is getting completely wrecked. Obviously, it's only a Townhall 12. That's in addition to that. Like I said, I was really new in Legend League because I found my main account in Titans and not in Legends. So I was like, over Christmas, I did a couple of push attacks to get my account back in Legends. And wow, so far, it's great to be back. So let's see how we can do the last couple of attacks, because for now, this is what we learned in the beginning. Early warden ability, this was completely horrible in the first attack. The second attack was fairly rushed. Kind of rushed Town 12, so it wasn't too hard to triple that one. So let's check it out whether we can somehow accomplish everything we learned so far together in the third attack, because this is the next goal. So next thing, next base, let's take a look at it. We had a really nice start so far, 2 out of 2, which is nice, even though the base were not too good, but still 2 out of 2. Let's see how far we can push, and let's take a look at the next base. The next base is going to be, well, actually, I think this is one of the Dr. Mutaba, or like Mutaba / Stephanie anti-3-star bases. At least I saw it on a couple of channels that they used this base. But I think it's already a little bit older. So let's see how this base defends. What I try to do on this one is I try to let my heroes, my king and queen, walk from the upper right side to the right, like to the 3 o'clock corner. With this, I will take out at least 1 air defense, and I will create decent pathing for my Electrodragons. The next thing is going to be, I want to get rid of this stupid inferno tower, like this inferno tower island at the top. And what I'm doing with that is that I will use the slammer in combination with a couple of loons and funnel this the slammer into this Inferno Tower island. This means Inferno Towers, even though it might sound stupid, but Inferno Towers are actually doing good work against Electrodragons. The reason for that is if they're catching 5 Electrodragons, they're dealing actually damage. It's not you should never underestimate the damage of an Inferno Tower set to multi, especially when he's maxed. Then he's doing even more damage. So let's check it out, whether we can somehow do it better this time. The big problem I have, I did not funnel. I just spammed all of my Electrodragons in and nothing on the left side, which means all of my Electrodragons are splitting. I try to once again wait for the perfect, or like wait for my warden to follow, which he's not doing it. He's now catching up, now using the warden ability, and I should have placed the warden way higher up there. I should have funneled my Electrodragons with a couple of single Electrodragons somewhere, and then this could have been a way better attack. But for now, it's still looking good for us. We have our Royal Champion still alive, doing a bit more damage. And the next thing is going to be my Electrodragon, which has like huge chain values right now. The next couple of Electrodragons are coming in, and this is looking really good. And it looks like we have our third 3-star in or on the board, which is nice. Okay, so we're 3 out of 3 so far. Time shouldn't be an issue at all, and this means it's another triple. So once again, let's remind us. The hero part was good. The slammer part was good. The Electrodragon part was better. But we need to split our Electrodragons a little bit so we can funnel them each other, like funnel it a little bit. So not only spam, but we should try to concentrate a little bit more on the deployment. So next base, this one is going to be a Townhall 13, actually pretty decent expos already. So let's check it out whether we can triple this one. Even though the scatter shot is on the outside, so that's nice for us. So let's take it out early with our heroes and then come in from the right side behind the sweepers, because both sweepers are pointing towards the Townhall to the top side, which means we can easily come from the bottom. The next thing is going to be a little bit more surgical. I tried to deploy my Electrodragons on the right side, then this Loons in, and now I try to split my Electrodragons a little bit. The slammer from the bottom, and this should be it that my dragons are going in. Next rage, I don't know whether I should have already used the warden ability that early, but I tried to have it in the core when the town was getting activated, which is right now, freezing it one more time, and then using the warden ability really soon, just to make sure that all of my Electrodragons are safe. So now the warden ability, warden is following, warden nice. I'm not sure whether that was the perfect like the perfect timing, or it could have been done better, like somewhere, somehow else. But not sure about that. But it worked well for us this time. I still think a little bit earlier would have been better. I should deploy the warden not in the middle of my Electrodragons. I should already decide which group I want to use the warden ability on. So I should think ahead when I'm using the Electrodragons. I'm always having the opinion, okay, Electrodragons are just spam, just do it. But I think when you're actually really good with Electrodragons, you have to think ahead. You have to think where will my Electrodragons be in, like, I don't know, a couple of seconds, and what should I do with my warden ability, and when should I use it? So stuff like this isn't, like, you should not underestimate that. And still, this is going to be another triple. Obviously, once again, not in the max base, but still, so far, 4 out of 4. So let's check out the next base, the next tag, and whether we can keep the streak going. Okay, next base, let's go. Once again, a similar base like the base before, with our with the anti-3-star base, but it's a little bit different. Once again, we have the dead zone around the eagle, so we tried the same thing again. On Townhall 13, right now it's pretty nice because you can trade in water and in loon, which means before the update that was not possible. They increased the HP of a mortar and of a Tesla to make sure that you cannot trade it anymore. Like, one loon is not enough to take down one mortar or one Tesla. At the moment, with the mortar, because they had not a new level, but the loons had, that's not a, like, that's no problem at the moment. The next thing, I should have dropped a coconut loon for my 2 final E-Drags. This would have been huge. This one E-Drag, which is dying at the moment, would have been a huge help for us. But that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But let's check out the next part of this base. Everything is going in. The Inferno Tower once again is going away. 2 rages. And now you guys can see it already. Nope, it's not you guys, it's me. My iPad started lagging like hell. And because I'm using air server to record everything. My Wi-Fi lagged, so this means the screen is lagging as well. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the attack since it's lagging, but since I said I would show you guys all of the 8 attacks, I will do so. Even though this right now looks more like a freezing party, but still, this is gonna be a fail, even though you guys won't see too much, which means if you guys want to copy the base, feel free to do so, because it looks pretty decent, but more important is, now you can see the Wi-Fi sign as well, but more important is that I did not want to cut a fail out just because I had lags or whatever. I wanted to keep everything in there, so the next attack won't be laggy at all. It was just this one single attack because I wasn't able to fix it during the attack. After the attack, everything was fine again. So yeah, our first fail, 84%. That wasn't a good thing, but why did we fail? We failed because we used the Royal Champion in the middle, like to snipe the eagle, which the idea was good, but I didn't pay attention to the enemy clan castle, and the hound came out, and the hound completely wrecked us. So, this is another thing which we learned. Be careful with the enemy clan castle troops. If there are ice golems or lava hound in there, do not use the Royal Champion close to that. Otherwise, you will have huge struggle. Your Electrodragons will path away from your other, from the other targets, and you do not want that to happen. So, make sure to have your heroes, if you're placing them into the CC range, make sure that they can kill that and the Electrodragons are not getting affected by that. So let's get into the next attack, because this is going to be a ring base. Really annoying, but this time I tried to use my warden ability way earlier. I don't know if that, I think it was a pretty decent timing. We're blocking all of the eagle shots, we blocked the enemy queen damage, now we're freezing the core, and let's say we would have saved the warden ability. That wouldn't have meant anything, because there are 2 Electrodragons in the core. Those 2 do not care at that moment. They took down the Townhall, which means they did already their job. And now we're coming in from the back end with our Royal Champion to support everything. The enemy clan castle was already out of the way because our king and our queen were already there. So that were not, this time I could use my Royal Champion back end, so that was no problem. And we have so many Electrodragons alive. This is going to be easily a triple, and this means another triple on the board after our fail, which is a nice recovery. So this means we're right now, I think, 6 attacks in, 2 more attacks to go, and this means 5 out of 6, which is pretty decent. But still, we have to keep in mind that a couple of turn 12s were in there as well, and not too well upgraded. But still, 5 out of 6, I take it. So let's see how the next attack goes, because this one is going to be another triple, like I said. 2 more attacks to go, and we will take a look on how those things will run out, or will work out for us. And then I will once again repeat everything which we learned over this video. You guys have to take notes, or make sure that you're remembering this when you want to attack with Electrodragons and Loons. This time I decided, okay, since the clan castle is kind of on the outside, let's make sure that we're putting both heroes into the enemy clan castle. If a hound, ice golem, whatever is coming out there, we will kill it from the beginning, which gives us a lot of freedom on placing our Royal Champion. Luckily for us, there were 2 dragons in there, which were no problem at all for us. So this means easy going. We are now coming in with the Electrodragons. Slammer from the bottom as well, just to have funneling, and our king and queen from the top. Royal Champion is getting saved. I want to use the Royal Champion at the top right for the air defense, because this air defense is kind of exposed, which means for us it's easy to get. Otherwise, the bounces on this air defense are really bad. This is why I try to take that out. A lot of rages just to make sure that all of my Edrags are coming in. As soon as the Townhall is getting activated, I'm using the Warden ability, because of the beams are the beams are dealing so much freaking damage. And now everything is splitting a little bit, which is not a problem at all. We have still a couple of freezes left for the back end for the enemy queen. A rage, another freeze on the enemy queen, and this means this base should be wrecked, because we still had our ability for the Royal Champion, and this means the enemy queen is going down any second. Here we go, and it's gone, and only 1 arch tower is left alive, and this means this is going to be another triple, which means so far 6 out of 7 triples. It's looking good. It's looking good with the strategy, which I normally do not use, and this means I'm not too good with it. So far it's working really well for us. I think the last attack should be for sure. Let's hope so, a triple, which means it would be 7 out of 8, but let's see. Let's see, do not jinx ourselves already, but this is looking really good. So since our Electrodragons will take some time to get through the last couple of buildings, we will try to remember once again every single point which is important if you want to use E-Drags. First thing, use your warden ability not too late. Use it more early to block a lot of damage. Most of the time, the Giga Bomb is not worth it to use the warden ability for, because not too many Electrodragons are staying on the Townhall, which means if you can use it for maybe 1 or 2 Electrodragons on the Townhall, that's not worth it. Use it early to block as much damage as possible and to try to save as many Electrodragons as possible. The next thing, be careful with the range of the enemy clan castle. A lot of people are using ice golems and lava hounds, which means you do not want to have your heroes in range of that. The royal champion, king and queen, if you can make sure to avoid the enemy clan castle, do so. Be careful with the range, that's really important. The next thing, do not put all of your Electrodragons on one spot. Try to spread them out a little bit so they are funneling each other, and make sure that you're placing coconut loons in front of your Electrodragons, which means otherwise you will catch a lot of black mines really early on. Those are the main points for now, so let's try to make all of this work in the last attack. For this base looks really annoying for Electrodragons because it has like a crazy compact core, which first might sound good for us, but the bounces won't stay in the core, but let's see if we can somehow make it. The Slaver from the top to funnel everything in, the heroes from the right, and so far we can dodge the enemy range of the clan castle, so that's already good. Now we're freezing the sweepers in combination with the eagle, which is always a nice freeze value. Another freeze on there. Electrodragons are coming in, and we are already doing our first mistake. We should have used the warden ability right now. A little bit earlier, I think we should have used it a little bit earlier, but still was okay. It was maybe okay. But we're really unlucky with all of the trap placement, and that's another big point, and this is the reason why I'm not using Electrodragons too often. The reason for that is it's super coin flip. What does this mean? This base had 3 air skeletons in the core, which basically means I had no counterplay to that. There was no possibility for me to counter that, and Electrodragons are super weak against those air skeletons, so you had no chance to work around that. Our troops were dying. Queen is still getting the enemy queen down, but is dying to the outer tower. Maybe our baby dragon can get a couple from percentage. Okay, black mine, rip that. Okay, this is it. 6 out of 8, 92% for the finish. It's okay. I would have liked to go 7 out of 8, but still it's decent. So I think we should check out how was the day for us. Like, let's get an overview. I already pretty much summarized already what is important for you guys if you guys want to use Electrodragons and Loons together in Legend League. I think it's a really strong strategy, and I think it's way more than just spamming everything in. So our attack log is looking pretty good. Battle log plus 297, which is decent. So far our defense is looking good as well because we're kind of low in Legend, so this is looking nice. 2 0 stars, a 1 star. Nice start for us, but I think that's it for today's video. Let me guys know what you think about those Legend League Day videos. Do you guys like them? Do you like the more casual way, or do you like the strategy guides more often? Let me know what you guys like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.